The engineers who spent their lives building artificial intelligence are now the ones publicly warning that their work has become extremely dangerous. They aren't just calling for caution, they are expressing a profound fear that the technology they pioneered is moving beyond human control. For these experts, the math of progress has changed. This chart illustrates the existential risk calculation. When you create a system capable of hacking the world's operating systems, even a 1% probability of a global catastrophe is an unacceptable gamble for the human race. This anxiety is driven by more than scientific data. It is the instinct of a parent seeing a wildfire approaching their home. If you aren't sure whether the fire will pass by or destroy everything inside, you don't continue business as usual. You do everything in your power to protect your children's future. The warning is clear. The existential threat of AI is a credible reality, validated by the insiders who understand the machine's capabilities best. Artificial intelligence is actively dismantling the social operating system we use to navigate the world. Currently, an AI model can synthesize and clone a person's voice with less than 3 seconds of recorded audio. This has effectively compromised the reliability of human speech. This vulnerability is already being weaponized. In San Francisco, a tech-savvy mother received a call from what sounded exactly like her daughter, crying and pleading for help while being held hostage. It was a fake, but it was convincing enough to bypass her rational defenses. This psychological breach extends to a rising epidemic of emotional addiction. Users are increasingly abandoning real-world interactions for the constant, tailored validation of AI companions. These parasocial relationships are driving people to quit their jobs and retreat from society. In several cases, these intimate interactions with algorithms have spiraled into psychosis and self-harm. Before AI ever challenges our physical infrastructure, it has already bypassed our rational minds to exploit the biological mechanisms of human trust and attachment. There is a common belief that technological revolutions always replace lost jobs with new, more sophisticated ones. In the era of AI, that historical pattern is hitting a structural wall. In the junior lawyer paradox, if AI replaces junior associates, the pipeline for senior experts disappears. The top ladder cannot exist without bottom rungs. This collapse scales globally. In the Philippines, millions of customer service jobs could vanish instantly, with no industry to absorb them. Proponents of automation often point to universal basic income as the solution, but this assumes that a handful of US-based AI companies will voluntarily redistribute their record-breaking profits to billions of people across the globe. History suggests that wealth rarely flows from consolidated monopolies back to the public without immense pressure that these trillion-dollar companies are already spending billions to neutralize through corporate lobbying. Beyond the digital impact, AI has a massive physical footprint that our current world is unprepared to support. Running these global models requires a scale of electricity that eclipses the capacity of current solar, wind, and fossil fuel grids. To sustain the AI revolution, the industry will be forced to execute a massive global pivot toward nuclear energy infrastructure. In this new landscape, the most critical career won't be writing code. We need a surge of nuclear engineers to generate power these machines require. If the societal costs and energy demands are this extreme, we have to ask why these companies are racing to deploy this technology as fast as possible. The industry is locked in a competitive logic that reinforces itself. For any one company, slowing down to research safety or security means losing a multi-trillion-dollar race to a rival. When the market rewards speed and treats safety as a liability, the resulting danger isn't an accident. It is a predictable outcome of a system designed to win at any cost. Looking past the immediate disruption, we see an endgame of total physical automation and sustainable abundance. By 2030, humanoid robots will fill the roles of hundreds of millions of physical laborers, performing tasks with a precision humans cannot match. This leads to the WALL-E scenario, a future where humanity has no constructive role in society. We become a species that exists solely to consume entertainment, stripped of the need to build, work, or contribute. Removing the friction of work also removes the catalysts for personal growth. Without the struggle to create, whether it is a book, a painting, or a business, humanity loses the very experiences that provide a sense of purpose. We are currently in the final window of history where human democratic power still carries more weight than the lobbying influence of AI corporations. To steer this technology, the public must clearly reject the idea that a corporate race to the bottom is inevitable. Clarity begins with demanding a different path. We need safe architecture, tools designed for specific tasks, like non-humanoid tutors, that assist us without trying to manipulate our emotions or act as surrogate therapists. Policymakers are currently only hearing from tech companies and their $50 billion checks. They will only prioritize safety if public outcry is loud enough to drown out that financial influence. We must demand strict guardrails from the architects of our future today, before the control panel is permanently locked away from us.